Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a good, pleasant evening. I wanted to take some time to just kind of go through my eBay listings. I had actually had some pretty good success here in about the last like 2 weeks, and I wanted to share a few of the things that I did differently to all of a sudden get some sort of traction on my listings because uh, for those of you that know my eBay, which is this guy right here, Cuckoo times 10. I'm not really Cuckoo times 10 at all. That was something my mom made up for me many years ago. And she always used to say, "Oh, you're cuckoo," you know. So, anyways, that kind of stuck, and I've had this account since I believe 2005, 2006. I've had a couple of accounts. This is actually my second run of it. It's been pretty good. But I wanted to show you guys the 9 coin listings I had in there. About as recently as about 2 weeks ago, I had actually about 25 listings. I have a lot more listings on my eBay. However, most of it is things like sports cards and other different kinds of collectibles. I have video games on there, things like that. So I sell a lot of things. But I had done something a little bit different to get more awareness to the listings other than talking to you guys about it, because I don't have a whole heck of a lot left on here. But what I do have is pretty nice, a couple interesting pieces. So I have 9 listings. I have an RPM. This is actually my second one that I have listed on here. The first one sold. Kind of an interesting story. I have the first one, same RPM, FS 101 1956 D over D, that I ended up putting up through a 7-day auction with a $19.99 starting bid, and it got through the 7 days and nobody bid on it, but there were a few people that actually looked at it. So what I did was, on the third attempt, all right, it went through twice, 2 7-day periods where I actually tried to do an auction format, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I ended up, for something like that, what I did was on the third try is I simply just put it up as a buy it now, and ended up selling it. I sold it, I think, within a day or so, for $19.99. So someone came in and swooped it up. But what I did also was I modified the listing title, because beforehand I felt like I didn't put as much information, and you'll come across these eBay listings and they're a little funny, because they'll add in things to the actual title line of the listing that's irrelevant for it. And the big reason why they're doing that is for keyword searches. All right, keyword searches are some of the things that people would type into the search bar up here to try and find specific coins they're looking for. So what sellers are doing is that they're adding in specific keywords, so that way their listing would pop up, even though they're a little bit irrelevant to what they're selling. Now, I'm usually not a proponent to that, but when I went through and kind of did some retooling of some of these coin listings, I added things like strong, nice, beauty, and they're truthful. They're truthful for what they are. Like the 56 D over D is one of the strongest, most nicest RPMs that you'll come across, and that's what I did. So another thing that I did, I don't know if it's this listing, but I added in more item specifics on a few of them, and I'm starting to go back and doing that. And the big reason why you want to add more item specifics is that you want to be able to have your listing be more searchable than just being very vague about it. Like this right here is quite narrow, even though it has all of the relevant information on there. From this is a circulated coin made in the U.S., 1956, and uncertified. So what are some other things that are missing from here? The place in which this was minted: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Graded, is it graded? No, it's not. It's not even on here. So those are a few of the things. What you want to do with these eBay listings is to be as completely transparent and complete as possible. And don't do any shortcuts. So I've kind of learned that the hard way after having a few of my listings stay put on my eBay store for a very long time. Sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year. And I've either had to yank the listing because it's an aged unit on my store, or I have to retool it. I have to drop the price a little bit to make it more tantalizing, I guess, to people that are interested in it. With eBay, things are a little bit different today because there's a lot more importance and emphasis on using eBay's promotion tool. All right, that's where you pay things like 99 cents or $1.49 to promote your listing. I'm not a personal fan of it. I mean, it's just more money that they're asking for, but it really does work. Sometimes on your higher valued items that are worth $50 and higher, you might want to consider doing the promote feature on these items. Things like this where it's only $20, I wouldn't consider it because of the value. All right, I don't want that to eat into my my cost or my profit. But the thing is, this particular coin I ended up finding out of a bag of Lincoln cents. So my cost on this particular coin is right around 4 cents. So if I sell for $20, that's a pretty good payday. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, why I cherry pick through bulk wheat cents, is to find cherries like this. So another thing I did was I took a better close-up picture, and I used my iPhone. I have an iPhone, it's 13. It's the newest one out there, so it's a 13 Pro. Takes phenomenal pictures, but you could actually use any camera on any of the most current devices going back maybe 5 years, because they do a really good job. The number one thing you want to keep in mind is make sure that the lenses are clean. All right, so simply rubbing it with your shirt like so is sometimes all that you have to do. And furthermore, lighting has to be important. Like I have this desk lamp here. I usually point it up against the wall. I have my ring light, and I usually have a third lamp. So when I flood the area right here with all sorts of light, you're going to get really nice images like what you see here of this full obverse, this full reverse, and it's very true to the coin that's sitting in front of me. So I've refined my photography a little bit so that way it's more clear, it's more true to what you're going to be receiving. And so far, it's worked out. This is something that I've been working on as a little side project here in the last, I would say, month and a half. I had loads of time to do it over the summer, so I figured, why not? So something to keep in mind, always invest a little bit more time and energy into your photography taking, ability. Most people have access to their smartphones, and it's actually, with the technology going on today, it's actually a really, really reliable tool. All right. Same with this 58 RPM D over D over D. I also did the same thing, although I have to go back into that listing and add in more item specifics. That thing has to have like 10 or 12 different item specifics. Don't skip that part. Make sure you're always doing that. And then same for a lot of the other things. I think this is the only piece of currency I've left. I sold through all my currency in the last month, which came out to only about like 6 or 7 pieces. But I sold some of my most expensive pieces. I ended up selling a couple of my fancy serial number graded notes to really, really great success. Those were notes that I picked up wholly intended to flip, and I've done really well on it. But I have this one lone obsolete left here, I believe, and yeah, that's the only one I got left. I took a full picture. I have to go back in and actually do all the item specifics on that one. And it's price competitive to whatever other examples are on eBay. And you know, another good thing to keep in mind is to use a reliable type of software where you could quickly crop images and you know, doing God, what do you call it? There's an app called the Pro Knockout that I use, and what it does is that it you know, it turns your JPEG into a PNG. What's cool is you could take like a coin which is round, and you could do a crop so that way it's just the circle, and it would be transparent all around it. So you could do overlays and stuff like that. You've seen me do that on some of my video thumbnails, by the way. But you know, I also use a free program called Photoscape to do some of my photo editing. If you don't want to pay for like Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, okay, you don't have to. There's a lot of really great software that's free to use. The one on the desktop or laptop I personally like using is Photoscape. It's going to allow me to crop the images like you see on this 1930 Buffalo nickel. It's going to allow me to combine them and use it all in one picture. And it's got all the information you need as you're scrolling down through all of the listings for specific error coins. You're going to come across this and see both sides of the coin. Okay, what am I dealing with here? It doesn't match up to what the listing title says. You know, so this is my my lamination 1930s Buffalo nickel that I have on here based off of previous sales. I have this one at $49.99. So this one has been on my eBay for most of the summer. You know, I'll probably end up dropping it here going into the holidays. We'll see. Can't drop it too much, only because it's going to undercut a lot of other similar coins like it. Plus, it's a little bit tougher date. So, as you can see, this one has a couple more item specifics I've added. Of course, go back in, put in more, and really load it up to make sure that it has all the information needed. And make sure that you're also typing in and it's pretty important, the actual description of the coin in here. You know, keep it brief, and you know, put all the information in there, because it's going to help you if things, you know, go haywire and the customer wants to return the coin. You know, you're going to have great photos, okay, of their original coin. You're going to have this information here. So if they send you something else different than the coin that you had sold, you're going to have all the information that you need in front of you when you go to do that claim. All right, so make sure that you're complete on everything, and you'll be good to go there as well. So that's really, you know, nothing else too crazy that's you know, worth speaking about. With graded coins, I believe I only had one graded coin left. I sold through, no, I got two. I also have this 46 Rosy toner on here as well. But you'll see on this one, I took it a step further, utilizing Photoscape photo software and actually doing the cropping and doing the comboing, so combining the two obverse and reverse pictures together into one. And I also threw in the actual slab labeled cropped, and then sized appropriately so that way it fits within this montage here. But I also have other pictures of the full slab on both sides as well, to show some of the toning under natural light. All right, so again, being complete is important here in order to be successful. This one has a lot more information, and this is what your listing should look like. You should have anywhere from 8 to 12 item specifics, because it's going to allow your listing to get seen more. They're going to use eBay's algorithms to ensure that that this coin will be seen a lot more active because of all the extra information that you've added in there. So that's why I wanted to talk about. The reason why I wanted to talk about this and for its importance is that a lot of people are going to be going back to eBay to doing some of their secondary market sales heading into the holidays. This is the time of year, and by the way, I need to get more inventory for my eBay. This is the time of year coming up some from about mid-September all the way till January. This is the point of time where eBay is going to be super active. All right, so if you got time and you need to do some listings, now might be the time to kind of harbor everything, set it all up, and get it out there, so that way when we're coming into like October, you're going to be good to go, and all that great stuff. And that just does not apply to just coins, but everything else. There are specific things that sell a whole lot better during the holidays. Sure, if you got some like some old like Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas decor you want to sell, and they're kind of unique, special, or vintage, go ahead and post them right now. People are going to be buying those right now. Again, the market is all about timing. Some things are seasonal, some things are not. Some things just do a really good job selling year round. So make sure you're dedicating as much time and energy to quality listings. That's important. And then you're going to get yourself a whole lot of sales like I did. I ended up selling through about 13, 14 different coins and currency items in just the last 2 weeks, and have made a pretty good amount of money doing it. So, that's it for this one. Kind of like a little eBay bone-up session, I guess. Just doubling down on what you should do to be successful. And it doesn't matter the size of the store or your eBay listing. It can be small, it can be large, but just make sure you're covering all the bases, so that way you're going to be in good shape going into the holidays. Well, that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Have a great night. And I guess I'll see you on the next round of videos. So long.